them. I've had good friends lost because of them. I've had people that I've recently met that have passed away. I'm actually here, and I'm not sure why Joel asked me to speak, besides the fact that I've been doing it for a long time. My daughter passed away 11 and a half years ago. But I'm here to talk about hope. And that's what I chose to speak about today in this setting. So a little background. I'm from Rock Hall. Most people know me for the fact that my daughter was killed on Route 20. If you've ever been into Rock Hall, there's one way in, one way out. It's Route 20. Just past Wesley Chapel is a big red church on the corner, on the hill, that's kind of your welcome to Rock Hall. 100 yards past that on the right-hand side at the edge of the tree line is a 4-foot pink cross that reflects at night that says, "For Emma's sake, don't drink and drive." Emma is my daughter. She was 4 years old when she was killed by a drunk driver who killed my fiance as well. Brian was 26. The drunk driver was 24. Emma was 4, and all three of them were killed. I was the only survivor in the crash, and I was flown immediately to shock trauma. Emma and Brian had to come to Chestertown in order to get stable enough to recover or fly. Brian made it about 45 minutes. He went into cardiac arrest on the radiology table. He had all internal injuries, so they took him back to see what was wrong, and he went into cardiac arrest and was killed, or he died there. Emma lived 4 hours in Chestertown and 4 hours in Baltimore. Our crash was just before 8 o'clock in the evening, and she came to Chestertown, and they worked on her for a long time. At midnight, a pediatric neurologist on a Johns Hopkins helicopter came and picked her up, took her back to Baltimore, where she fought for her life for 4 more hours. Ultimately, just after 4 a.m., taking her last breath. We were struck head-on at just over 90 miles an hour by a drunk driver, a repeat offending drunk driver. Even at 24 years old, had he lived through our crash, it had been his 3rd DWI. Our crash was January 3rd, 2008. On December 15th, he was pulled over for drunk driving, got a DWI. He was arrested also for drugs and drug paraphernalia. They let him go on his own PR. For me, that's not good enough. I've lived for 11 and a half years without my daughter and a future that I have no idea what it would have been. And for many of you in this room, you are also a second, third, fourth time recovering addict. I told you I was going to talk about hope, and I am standing in front of you as that hope. This guy had friends who said he really wanted to drive, so they let him leave. That's not your friend. I have fought grown men leaving a bar for their keys. I have followed them to the car. I have taken their keys out of their truck. They have cussed me, yelled at me. I'm pretty sure I was going to fight. And what are they going to do? And that's what I look at them and tell them. What are you going to do? You're going to call the police and tell them this crazy lady won't let you drive drunk? Please do that. I will give them your keys. Take me to jail. That is a friend of a stranger. Anyone in here that's recovering needs to know that there is hope in the future. I'm not angry at the drunk driver anymore. I was angry he was killed. I was angry because he was killed instantly. I was angry because he felt no pain. I was angry because he didn't suffer. He has no idea what he did to my family, to me, to Brian's family. But there is hope. I'm 11 and a half years into something that was so tragic that I sit at a table and bring hope. Anyone who's trying to recover, there is hope. There are people that are going to tell you they're your friend, and I can tell you that I'm more a friend to you as a stranger than they'll ever be. You have to surround yourself with people who are willing to understand that you're going through something, that are going to love you anyway, and that are going to help you fight the battle. The people that say they're your friend, that are going to be there, are not the ones that are bailing you out of jail. They're not the ones taking you to rehab. They're not the ones giving you money. Those are not your friends. The people that are telling you no, the people that are hugging you anyway, taking you to the hospital and supporting you throughout everything, that's your hope. The community and things like this where you can walk through the door and find someone who's going to help you, that's your hope. It's not the person down the street that's going to hang out with you because you're sick and watches you vomit and vomit and vomit and beg and plead and says, you know what, here's $15. That's not your hope. Just because I've never done drugs doesn't mean I haven't suffered. Doesn't mean I haven't done wrong. I'm not any better than anyone in this room. I have just taken something that is despicable in the eyes of others and turned it into better. After my daughter was killed and Brian was killed, it was a really dark place. I was a mom trying to take care of my surviving daughter without the second income, without my family. And I did something really bad. So if you don't know me because of drinking and driving, you know me because I'm that girl that took money from her job and went to prison for a long time. Oddly enough, had I been a drug addict, I'd have never seen the inside of a prison. But you don't have to be a drug addict to have problems. You don't have to be a drug addict to not have hope. It's the forgiveness that you find in rooms like this that is your hope. I still deal with a crime that happened almost 12 years ago, or 11 years ago. My daughter died 11 years ago. Everybody is imperfect. And no one will look at you in your face and tell you the truth, short of being in the same position. Surround yourself with hope. Surround yourself with people that will give you the hope that tomorrow is better. It's been 4,223 days since my daughter passed away. I hope that tomorrow I forget that number. You won't ever forget that number. For those that are 1 day clean, 13 months clean, 8 years clean, congratulations. This time last year, Jewel asked me to come to the Caroline County event. It was the first one, and I met Wendy, and I fell in love with that woman. In 2 hours, she was like a family member. And it wasn't long after that that she passed away. And for all of you at that table, I miss her too, because I only got to meet her one time. And one time with that woman, I missed her. And she is here. She is your hope. Jonathan is your hope. Emma is my hope. There are people that will find you if you can't find them. There are cards on my table that have my phone number, that have my email. I am your hope. I will be your hope if you don't have other hope. For 11 and a half years, I have woken up every day and put one foot in front of the other, whether it's because my daughter passed away and I need to live for my surviving children, whether Miss Mindy needs me because her son was killed, or whether it's this county hates me because I took money from a job. I'm a good person. Just because I've never done drugs doesn't make me the best person, but I am a good person, and I have done everything to make me a better person. And everybody in this room is good people. Just because you have an issue or something happened to you doesn't make you bad people. This room is your hope, and when you walk out of this room, there's still hope. Find it.